A very good morning, everybody. Today we are going to discuss on the chapter of kinship communities. In this chapter, this is our second episode, and in this second episode, I would like to some recap the contents of last episode. As for example, I have discussed about some type of marriage, two types of marriage. Also, it was very important, and it was the endogamy and exogamy. Endogamy means a marriage settled within a unit, within a kula, within a caste, is known as the endogamy. And exogamy means a marriage settled within, not in a same kula, not in the same caste, not in the same gotra. Beyond the caste, marriage was the exogamy. Beta, in this episode, I will tell some story from the Mahabharata. As for example, the best example of exogamy is a story from Mahabharata. I would like to share on the heading of Hidimba. The Pandavas had fled into the forest. They were tired and fell asleep. Only Bhima, the second Pandava, renowned for his powers, was keeping watch. A man-eating Rakshasa caught the scent of the Pandavas and sent his sister Hidimba to capture them. She fell in love with Bhima, transformed herself into a lovely maiden and proposed to him. He refused. Meanwhile, the Rakshasa arrived and challenged Bhima to a wrestling match. Bhima accepted the challenge and killed him. The other woke up hearing the noise. Hidimba introduced herself and declared her love for Bhima. She told Kunti, I have forsaken my friends, my dharma, and my kin, and good lady, chosen your tiger-like son for my man. Whether you think me a fool or young devoted servant, let me join you, grand lady, with your son as my husband. So what happened? In this story, we are looking, and Ghatotkach was a son of this result of the of this marriage. Okay, so Yudhishthira agreed to the marriage on condition that they would spend the day together, but that Bhima would return every night. The couple roamed all over the world during the day. In due course, Hidimba gave birth to a Rakshasa boy named Ghatotkach. So, beta, this story is a best example of exogamy. Bhima was Kshatriya and Hidimba was Rakshasa. Beta, in our Mahabharata story, historians try to collect the information about the contemporary society and political status of that time of India. How? First of all, they observe the language. Mahabharata is written in Sanskrit. Mahabharata is a collection of mantra or some other things. If mantra, then chanted only the Brahmanas. Mahabharata is a story, folk story, who tell someone and hear some other so many people of the society. Similarly, the language. Sanskrit language is like the Vedic Sanskrit or the uh, script writing Sanskrit. The Sanskrit of Mahabharata is easier than the Vedic Sanskrit. Similarly, some stories are also given. As for example, I am going to share the another story, and a story is based on the you can say the Eklavya and Guru Dronacharya. Actually, what happened, beta? In our past, there are so many examples that kings were not Kshatriya, and everywhere the Brahmanical chronicles concept were not accepted. As for example, according to Band system, Kshatriya could be king or ruler of the society, but it was not correct. So many examples we have that the kings were non-Kshatriya. As for example, the first king, Mauryan Empire, the Mauryan were not Kshatriya. According to Brahmanical, they belongs to the lower section of society. But according to Buddhist literature, Mauryan were the Kshatriya. Similarly, some other example, Shak. Shak were the Shak king were not Kshatriya. They came from other part of the country. They came from the other countries in India, and they introduced in our Brahmanical literature like Mlech. They were barbarian. They were not civilized. But when they accepted the Brahmanical culture, their culture, then they accepted by society, and they ruled over the India. One of the best ruler, Rudradaman, also re-maintained the lake of Sudarshan Lake, which was constructed by Chandragupta Maurya in Gujarat. Similarly, Satvahana were not Kshatriya. They introduced as themselves like a Brahman rulers. Okay, so similarly, the Shunga dynasty. Shunga dynasties were generally belongs to the Brahmanical tradition. They were Brahmanas. They also ruled over the country in western part of India. So we have so many examples that Kshatriya not only the king everywhere. And better remember that in one story of Sutta Pitak, a Brahmanical chronicles, in a Brahmanical, in a Buddhist literature, in Sutta Pitak, Majjhim Nikaya given a story, and in this Sutta Pitak story, it is not necessary that only Brahman can be could be a king of this political system. Okay, a king could elected, king could be announced by the communities, and common people just gave some parts of their income as a tax. So anyone could be king when they could success to collect the support and other resources, required resources to rule over the country. But in Varna system, it is given that the Kshatriya can be take the archery education, weapons education. So in the story of Eklavya, I am going to tell another story. We should know about this story. This is very important. And beta, in this story, what is going on? In the story of Drona, Eklavya, a forest dwelling Nishad, started practicing archery on his own, treating Drona, a person of high worth, as his teacher. He did so against the Brahmanical norms. According to Brahmanical norms and practices, the caste such as Nishada were not entitled to get education. Sorry, training in weaponry was given only